Hi, this is Ike from IkesOutdoors.com, and today we're out, we're making a horn trap. For you guys who don't know what a horn trap is every year when the deer shed their horns, I usually go out and spend a lot of time scouring bedding areas and fence crossings and stuff like that, trying to find sheds. And it's a good indication of what kind of deer you have out there, and it's a lot of fun in the springtime. You know, it gives you something to do when you're in between deer hunting and turkey hunting and stuff like that. So what I've done this year is I found a natural place that I can put what's called a horn catcher. There's a couple different ways you can do that, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But what I've done is I've put my feeder out here, and season's over. In Missouri, it's illegal to hunt over a feeder, which I don't do anyway. But season's over now. It's been over for a couple days or a couple weeks, and I want my deer to have a little bit of nutrition, so I'll put out this feeder. And when I come out here to put it out, I found several spots in this on this fence where the deer are actually crossing, and right here next to this tree seems to be the most heavily used area. So what I've done is I put this feeder right here on the opposite side of the fence, where the only way they could come to it would be to come around to this side. A lot of branches here, we've got barbed wire here, and I put it to where they can either get their head underneath or they can get their head on top. Now what I'm hoping is that a buck, when he comes through here, when he tries to put his head down in there, he'll hit his horns on that. And if they're loose and they're ready to come off anyway, they'll fall off and be laying right here for me when I come back to put more feed in this. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. I'm using the natural terrain. I'm using the fence, these leaves and stuff like, or these branches and stuff like that, trying to get them to fall off, trying to get them to lay right here so I can find them. Now you can also use some panels, some wire, some what I call them cattle panels. They're big, and you can actually put them in a feeder and corner them to the feeder to where the deer have to come through, and they'll scrape on that. Now you don't want to use stuff like chicken wire and things like that the deer's horns will get tangled up in. What you want to use is something that simply when he comes through with his horns, that he'll rub his horns against. Like here, when he comes through, say this is his horn, and he'll come through and hit it and knock it off when it's ready to come off. You don't want that buck to get tangled up in there, to damage your feeder, and more importantly, to hurt himself. So you got to think about that. That's your big buck for the next year. So you want to make sure that it's safe for the buck. He's not going to get tangled up in it, not going to tear up a bunch of stuff, and not going to hurt himself in the process. And so that's pretty much it. We're going to leave this here, and I'm going to hang my trail camera right here on this tree or somewhere close by. I don't know if it'll spook the deer. I don't think it will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to face it out so I can try to see if I can catch some deer coming across here. Try to get some good pictures. And as always, pick up after yourself, be a good steward of the land, be respectful to the landowner, so clean up after yourself. And I'll be checking back on this here in a week or so, so hopefully we've got some good pictures. Hopefully there'll be some horns hanging out down here. So that's how you make a horn catcher. If you got any questions, please feel free to contact me at IkesOutdoors.com. Please be sure to sign up for our newsletter, where we'll give a lot of more tips, tricks, in-depth reviews, and basically just tell you what's going on with the site. You can sign up for that at our website, IkesOutdoors.com. We appreciate you watching.
I like good times, good wine, good smoke, and a 5-piece bed. And I can't help